Thank you, Colin. Well, I want you to imagine two scenes. One, a scene of grey tower blocks, sirens wailing in the background, walls covered with graffiti, perhaps some people's idea of hell. And then the other scene, a rural scene, tall, green trees swaying gently in the breeze, lolly-legged lambs dancing in the fields surrounded by winding country lanes. Your vision, perhaps your idea of heaven. Well, last week, Rishi Sunak, the Tory leadership candidate and former Chancellor, got into a lot of trouble when he said in rather crass remarks that he had succeeded in taking money away from deprived urban areas and giving it to places like Tunbridge Wells. Now, he rightly got criticised for this. It certainly gave all the wrong impression about Tory values. But was there something underlying what he said that actually there is an awful lot of poverty in rural areas, if not Tunbridge Wells? Imagine if you do live in an isolated rural area and don't have a job. Well, you can be miles away from even travelling to a job or an interview. With the cost of petrol, we all know how expensive that can be. There's certainly little broadband in rural areas to allow you to work from home. And if you have a bus service at all, and that perhaps it's just once a day, you miss it, and the cost back home in forms of a taxi can be as big as your food bill. No bank, no post office is increasingly common in rural areas. No cottage hospital, and not even a cottage, perhaps, or any other form of housing, because seasonal tourists come into your community, live there perhaps for only a few weeks, few months, and price you out of the rural economy. No school choice. You look at public services generally, and rural areas are not well served. Our rural communities are vital for farming. They're vital for tourism. They're vital for the protection of our environment. But in some of our greenest parts of our country, actually, it's not that pleasant to live. And perhaps we should think a little bit more about rural disadvantage.